Okay students, now we will move on to the unit 3 of module 19, non-parametric statistics. What are these non-parametric statistics? Non-parametric tests are applied when the data is in categorical format, when the data does not follow the normality, and when your sample size is very low, you have to go for a non-parametric test. There are several non-parametric tests are available. For example, chi-square test, Mann-Whitney test, Kruskal-Wallis one-way ANOVA. There are several such. We will do one by one. Plus, please remember, non-parametric tests are distribution free tests. These tests do not follow any normality assumptions. So, that is why they are called as distribution free tests. Let us do one by one such tests. We start with the chi-square test. What is this chi-square test? A chi-square test is a test to check the significance of difference between groups of frequencies. Though there could be 2 groups of frequencies or 3 groups of frequencies, we can do a simple chi-square test. Or a chi-square test of independence. When you have got a cross tabulation, you can go for chi-square test whether there is association between rows and columns. Remember, in non-parametrics, we do not use the word correlation much, we use the word association. We start with the chi-square test first. Now we will learn how to do a chi-square test. If you see in the screen, there is a brand preference. I have selected 42 random respondents where 10 of them preferred brand A, 10 of them preferred brand B, and remaining 22 of them preferred brand C. Now, whether there is a difference between these brand preferences, since the data is numerical in nature, I cannot go for a ANOVA, I should go for a simple chi-square test. Again, I am reminding 10 people with the brand A preference, 10 with the brand B, and remaining 22 with the brand C. So, you can find 10 and 22 whether there is a difference between these frequencies. To do this, I go for a chi-square test. So, from the menus I choose analyze, I go for non-parametric tests, and I go for legacy dialogues, and I click chi-square. Now, it asks what is your test variable list. So, I choose brands and I bring it to the right side box, and I use what you call option of all categories are equal based on equiprobable hypothesis. That is all I have to do, and I just click once I get the data brands into test variable list, I just click options, and I do not want any descriptive or quartiles, I just continue, and I just want to know what is the chi-square value. So, since I have said it is equiprobable hypothesis, though there are 42 cases with the preference of 10, 10 and 22, we expected 14 in each. But whether our observed distribution is different from theoretical distribution that is expected, we are going to check through a chi-square test. So, I scroll down, you can find chi-square values 6.857 with a degrees freedom of 2 and significance of 0.032. Now, what is the meaning of this? Again, our universal rule, any significance value, if it is 0.05 and below, it is significant. That means there exists difference between the frequencies of A, B and C, where you can definitely say the brand preference of C is significantly higher than brand preference of A and B. That is where the significance lies. This is how you interpret chi-square test. Okay, chi-square test can be done for cross tabulations also. In the previous instance, we have seen only brand preference. Now, I want to associate with the gender, whether gender is associated with the brand preference. So, I have taken 21 males and 21 females and their respective brand preferences. To do a chi-square test, I go for analyze, I go for descriptive statistics, I check cross tabulation, and in the cross tabulation I put gender in columns and brand in the rows. It is not just that much enough. I want to see the percentages. I go to cells and click cells. and I highlight column wise. I need percentage. You can go percentage row wise, you can go by total, no issues at all, but my interest is on the column totals. I will continue. Then I need a statistics. What is that statistics? I need a chi-square. So I click statistics and I click chi-square and I continue and I click. Now you see how the brand preference is working. Now you see males there are 21 and females there are 21, and now you can see majority of the males have preferred brand C with the 71.4%, whereas remaining 4 and 2 or 99.5% respectively brands A and B. Come to female scenario. Now you see it's very less. Brands is preferred by females are very less, whereas brand B is preferred more, followed by brand A. Now you get into chi-square value. Chi-square value is 17.505 with a significance of 0.000. This means there is a significant association between gender and brand preference. And our conclusion in this part is males prefer more of brand C, whereas females prefer more of brand B. Suppose if the brand preferences were to be same across different brands, you would have got a non-significant association between males and females in their brand preferences. This is how you interpret chi-square test of independence. After getting to know about chi-square test, both chi-square test simple and independent chi-square test of independence, now let us see a correlation test, a non-parametric form. That's nothing but Spearman's rank correlation. Don't get confused with the Pearson's product moment correlation. It is a parametric form. I have already data with me like reading ability and GPA scores. Remember, in the non-parametric test, all the scores are converted into ranks. So based on the rank difference, the correlation coefficient is calculated and then the significance is tested. In this case, how to go about a Spearman rank correlation, a non-parametric form of correlation. To do this, I go to menu, choose analyze, I go for correlate option and again I click bivariate and I find both reading and GPA scores. I take them to the right side box called as variables. By default, as I previously I said it is Pearson, I remove that, I go for a Spearman correlation, I click that. After clicking that, I click OK because everything is highlighted. I just click OK. Now you can find the correlation is generated and the correlation coefficient is 0.826. That means what? You find a positive relationship between reading ability and GPA scores. More the reading, more the GPA scores. So your interpretation, since there is no minus sign, the interpretation is there exists a positive relationship between reading ability and GPA scores, and vice versa. Lesser the reading, lesser the GPA scores, and the significance is 0.000. That means it is very highly significant. After getting to know about chi-square test simple and chi-square test of independence, let's move on to a correlation. Now how to do this correlation, a non-parametric form of correlation. Remember, Pearson's product moment correlation is meant for parametric data. Suppose our data is non-parametric, we can still go for a correlation, but here it will be Spearman rank correlation. Now how to do this? As usual, we will have two columns, and how to do it? We will just look into the monitor and we will continue. Okay students, now you have seen how the data entry will be done in SPSS, how the parametric test will be done, as well as non-parametric tests. I hope these 3 units are highly helpful for you in your communication research. You can definitely use SPSS, and I have to add a note here. SPSS is a legal bound software, but you don't have to worry. You can always download the evaluation versions of the software which work for 15 days. I hope these modules are highly helpful for your research, and I hope you do the best. Thank you.